So now that we know that we need high amounts of effort during a set in order to see results, there are two ways that we can accurately track that. The first is going to be using the reps in reserve method, and the second is going to be the rate of perceived exertion method. Both are good, both have a time and a place. One of them is going to be more for your subjective scale, right? So how much you think that you could have done, versus reps in reserve, which is more of a set in stone number that you can accurately identify. So reps in reserve, or RIR, is just the number of additional reps you could have done with good form during a set before reaching absolute failure. Now for RPE, or rate of perceived exertion, it's going to be the subjective scale, usually from 1 to 10, that quantifies how hard a set felt overall, right? So it's going to be basically how difficult you think the set was, 0 being you didn't really feel a difficult set whatsoever, maybe it was a warm-up, and 10 being it was super hard, you probably could have not done another rep. And the RIR, or reps in reserve, is simply how many reps you think you could have done after you finish the set. So 0 being you had 0 reps left, and 5 being maybe you could have done 5 more. You can also go a little bit higher, maybe it was a warm-up set, maybe you could have done 6, maybe 7 more reps, but it's all up to how many reps you think you had in reserve, and you can write that down in your logbook and kind of gauge how many more you want to push for next time in order to hit that number. Because ideally, if you're training with effort, if you're training with intensity, you want to be training close to failure, close to that 2, 1, maybe even 0 reps in reserve. So that's why if we're trying to track all of our sets and reps, it's good to track using the reps in reserve method as opposed to the rate of perceived exertion method, because it's more subjective when you're doing RPE versus if you want to actually quantify how many reps you could have had left. That was long-winded. Let's move on to where you can get the best efforts.